I'd have done that right this time with chat. Do we have chat? I think we have. It looks like it's gonna work. Sup, dudes? Man, sometimes I really have to talk myself into streaming. I don't know why, but it gives me anxiety. But I really feel like I need to do it just to show that I'm still working on it, guys. I ain't giving up. Um, though this year has been brutal. Let's see. So, before I forget, website is down. That, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Hopefully temporary. Um, yeah, got two people helping on that. I am definitely not a web dev, so can't. I don't know. I hate websites. So, anyways, um, we'll get that figured out at some point, I'm sure. I was going to switch to a different, well, God, it's a long story, but I was going to switch to a different service provider, and I just haven't yet, because I think I misunderstood exactly how they work, to be honest. So anywho, I wanted to kind of just go over, I mean, more or less, just gonna show you what I'm working on and show you how cool it is when my computer freezes. That was pretty sweet. Did you see that? That was awesome. And power might go out. It's storming pretty good. It's been going out like crazy. Anywho, so not a lot of people understand what I am working on with migrating the logic from client. It's very client heavy right now because I was faster, blah blah blah, and then I'm migrating it to server side. But that is, it's a hard task no matter how you look at it. But I had a plan that so far it's working. We'll see how far I can get, and we're gonna just experiment with some things here. Um, so this scene right here is it's a whole different project, and this is going to represent like the server build. It's very similar to a headless build, which anybody using Unity might be familiar with this headless player build. So it just kind of strips out anything unnecessary. Though I want more functionality, I want to be able to have controls where you can, you know, kick somebody who's being a jerk or whatever you got to do, or teleport somebody to a specific place, and you know, just a lot of admin things that you would think that you can imagine that you'd want. So in the inspector here, you have plenty of options here, but ideally you don't want to run your headless authority as in editor mode. I am experimenting with that, and that's the other challenge. Is I wanted to try to make it a scenario where I can test while I develop this part and not really disrupt what's already there and working. So I've got some kind of, I'm letting the server pass it through to basically a master user. I think the easiest way to think about it is kind of like a shooter game or something where you go into a lobby and you host a game and then others can join your game. It's going to be something like that. So I'm just calling it Rainbot because I don't know, I like that channel and it just sounds appropriate. But anyways, the Rainbot's going to act as the referee, the authority, right? So this is where I feel like it'd be easier to draw it, but essentially it's just going to be this one master user that is going to authenticate actions between players. So when eventually it's got to get to the point where every combat packet is passed to the master user, the host, whatever you want to think of it as, the headless, the brain, whatever, and then it will do the calculation and send out the response to actually both parties. The originator of the attack needs to get feedback on what the calculation was, and then the target, if it's another player, would get the information as well. So the tricky part, though, let me see if I can show you. Battling with this structure. Is it here? Wasn't it there? These server variables, to be honest, I have not met anybody that fully understands SmartFox, and I don't think it's bad. Yo, Scribbles, what up, dude? That's my dude there, Scribbles. He's always got my back. How you been, buddy? I need to call you and bug you one of these days. Catch up. Room architecture. This is what I want to show you. So the way they're showing it here, really, let's see. If we just kind of ignore the groups here, this is basically what's going on. We've got, I think there's 11 zones, and when a player goes into an instance, it's set to your level, so I create a new room on the fly, so it'll get up to like 100 rooms. But each room, if you're, say like room 4 is Glass Caverns, or D1, people call it Dungeon 1. So you have a player ID, and then I use your ID plus the room name, and that makes a unique room. But then say I go into room 4, my own instance, then we both have a list of I think there's only 28 enemies in there. So, and I don't know why, but I always say enemy unit ID 23. That's always the one I use as an example. Let's say that you go kill ID 23. If we don't have it in its own room, each one of these has a list unique to itself of the enemies 1 through 28. And if we didn't, then the enemy 23 in my instance would die after you kill it in yours. So they each have to have their independent lists, and a couple other things. There's some events, I didn't get that totally finished, but like say you've in D4, there's a part where the door has to be unlocked by using a crown, and yeah, so that has to be synchronized, and that's specific to that room. So things like that. But what I'm wanting to do is to use Zone A, which effectively it's kind of the same. I mean, the rooms are embedded in the zone, but each one of these, I think I have, I don't know, 40 something scripts server side. It's very light. It does some tricky stuff, but I was leaving the door open in case I wanted to change servers, because the lack of documentation and support for SmartFox is frustrating. Yo, what's up, Royal? Sup, man? So, my thinking is, it could even be room 0, it could be room 1, it could be whatever, but just pick one, since they all have a duplicate of each of the 40 or 50 scripts that I have, and the one that has the dictionary of the enemies with their ID numbers, that's duplicated. They all have their own, right? So every script is duplicated. So what I'm thinking is we pick one and use that in conjunction with the master, the host, the referee, the head, whatever you want to call it. And that's awesome of you, dude. First thing to go. Oh, jeez, that is awesome. I really wish I had a. Wow, that means a lot, because, of course, WoW is a big inspiration to me. So that's really cool to hear that a WoW player, a fellow WoW player, likes it. I mean, I guess I can't say fellow because I don't play WoW anymore, but it's not that I don't like it. I probably still would. I don't know. But I appreciate that, man. And I I spent a lot of time this year, like months and months, trying to figure out a better payment structure because there's been like you guys are awesome, man. I can't believe how supportive people are, and it just sucks that like damn near 50% of every dime that comes in through Steam is I don't even get to see it. It's just gone. So I don't know what to do about that. I'm just gonna have to shelf it for now because every different avenue I've looked into has got issues. Ah, no, man, that's too cool. Yeah, I'm just doing what I love, and I'm just glad that some people like it. Yeah, it winds up being like 45% that don't even see it because it's just I've been over it a billion times. But sales tax is really high when you average it out because it's global, and they take it out of the $20 price, and then they take their 30%, and then I have to pay tax on what's left. So it really sucks. Like on the website, when we get it up and going, and hopefully I don't have to go learn how to do more web dev stuff. I've done it probably 6 different times, and then a web dev will step in and say, "Oh, I hate this. This is ugly. I'm gonna redo it," and then they don't do it. So then I have to redo it again, and it's just silly. But I'll I definitely want a donate button on there because that's really all I can do. And like I would be, I don't know, if we ever went that route heavily and tried to push that, which I don't want to push anything monetarily, but if I did, I would try to find a way where I could be super transparent and show where everything is going. But it just sucks when you look at a lot of people think, oh, you're on Steam. Well, you made it. You're making tons of money. Nah. They're they're greedy. So my best thought right now is um, my buddy Sean was helping me kind of think through what to do, and well, a lot of people have, but I think the best choice is to just go ahead and distribute through as many platforms as possible. And Steam is what it is for now until I can get better information. It's crazy how difficult it is to get answers to things, but they just don't really care. You're just a small indie dev. They don't give a shit. But I'm thinking, Ultra.io are going to be my next big focus. They're going to be huge. One of these days, I'm going to just go and stream what I can about that. But yeah, it's going to be cool. And they take a lot less. They only take 15%. And then Epic, which there's some. I'm a little unclear on some of how Epic works. Anyways, don't want to talk about all that shit. It pisses me off. So buying 2 copies on Steam equals full game for a dev. No, but still, that's whack. Yeah, I wish Kickstarter would have worked out though, to be honest. But Dream, yeah. There's been other ones that screwed up Kickstarter. I wouldn't have done Kickstarter if Brian didn't commit to running it, but I I don't know what the hell to say about that. He didn't do it. He did like 4 days of effort and then just kind of well, it didn't work. So I wish we wouldn't have done it. It just looks bad. Like, oh, you did a Kickstarter and canceled it. So yeah, I wish it would have worked too, but I was trying to, I needed to be creating assets. The idea with a good Kickstarter is that you create content for each week so you can reveal a little bit each week and keep people coming back to see something new. But as one guy, I mean, it's already overwhelming. Just the bugs and current features and fleshing out what I currently have, and then some of the updating that I have to do, like what we're going to talk about here with the server, and then the GUI. Those 2 things are going to kill me. But yeah, it was just impossible. So I was counting on him. I was really counting on Brian to pay attention to it and be attentive to it. But I don't know. It was around Christmas, and maybe he just felt like it was break time. I don't know. All right, enough about that. So, um, so my thinking is we're going to use the zone level, and use all those dictionaries. That's what I've been doing. So to expand on that, I might as well just keep it there. But we could use any room, and we're just going to pick one and use its the lists and dictionaries that are there to store data about that um, zone, but we're going to store it for everybody. So see, this is where I feel like it might be easier to draw it, but just imagine, okay, think of it this way. So room 1, that's Blackmore. So if there's 10 people in there, then they're sending messages to everybody in the room, but not to anybody in any other room, right? So their movement and updates, that doesn't need to be seen, which is why when you're in a team and you're not in the same room or zone and you've not interacted before, it will just say teammate 1, and it's because there is no communication. So what we're going to do is make zone A keep record of everybody. So I kind of started the process, but I didn't flesh it out completely. So like when a user logs on, I send, get over, I will, let's see, so it's after your character, you've selected your character, and then you go to enter the world, then all this data has been sent in with that packet, and then we're going to put this into, well, I have a cross-ref dictionary, which that probably isn't needed after I get going here. This was all kind of somewhat temporary. I don't want to say thrown together, but maybe a fair statement. I don't know. I was just doing what was needed to get it to where it was playable and could show, you know, proof of concept and such. So now it's time to, okay, let's really flesh it out. And after looking at all the options, I don't see any reason to change from SmartFox, because I do have a solution that should work. I think there's some things I'm missing and don't understand or unaware of with SmartFox that could really help me out. But anywho, the cross-ref, that's just character name with username. So if I need to pull the username for a character name that's in a different zone, I can do that. But the best way to do it would be, well, totally different. I could do it multiple ways, but right now this is how it is. And then we have the players online. This is everybody, and the key is your username, and then the data is a new class based character data, which I essentially am just going to copy what is in the client with our base characters and give it all the same values. So the goal here is going to be somehow, and I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to try to store every geez, when I say it, it even is like, oh god, every player, all their data in a dictionary, which will be sorted by the room they're in. We don't want every piece of data that they're sending. We just need specific parts. And I'm going to need a dictionary full of enemies. Okay, well, if I ever get my personal gig going on my business side of me with entertainment, then I'll always be down to make a voice on Rain and get advertising out there when I get big enough. That'd be awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, like, I think a group of indies collaborating with a common goal could be super effective. It is so frustrating to see big companies just rule the space with an iron fist and do rotten things like I'm sure we're all aware of. Anywho, alright, so we know how to send to just zone level, and that's simple. It's as simple as just when you send a packet, don't send it to the room and it will automatically go to the zone. Wow, my computer's running like crap. I don't know why. Let's turn off one of these maybe. Well, that one takes forever. I don't know what to do. Okay, let's just mess around here. So today I may have fixed some of the chat stuff. This is for the bot, so this is all experimental stuff here. But the chat play party chat going across rooms. Basically, what I'm gonna try is gonna be like, wait, I gotta make sure there's nothing. Yeah, there's some things I just am not. I shouldn't show. So I gotta move that off the screen here and there. I hate the whole turn down small people. It's ridiculous, but I can rant on that all day as much as you can, man. I'm just glad to be doing it at the end of the day as you are. Yeah, I agree. It's a good way to look at it. But it does suck that the little guys get stepped on and pushed around. No help for the little guys. Well, I have to code. I use C# on the client side, and then Java on server side, and then well, MySQL. I think of it like a language. I don't know what to call it, but it's a language. It has syntax. So yeah, just those three mainly. Yeah, so this was essentially like this, in case anybody's interested in as to why this was happening. So I keep a list of the remotes in the room that you're in. So back to this, if this is the Blackmore, this dictionary is only going to have the players that are in your room if you're in there. So if you're trying to send a message to a teammate that's outside of that room, then we don't have him. So this was null referencing, and that would cause whatever you type to stay in the chat box. I did have a check like this. I was doing that, and then for some reason I commented it. I must have been thinking of redoing it. I don't know what I was up to. I get ADD, as some of you know, and I'll start on one thing and then I do something else, and oh god. I do try to prioritize though, and I think right now the most important thing is getting a few things server authoritative so we can fix the one that's driving me insane is the God mode thing, and it's really stupid. If it happens and you're playing the game, type /show host, and that will just toggle. It'll just turn on a little label under the enemy's health bar, and it will show you who is supposed to be hosting the enemy with my dynamic hosting setup. And the reason it's been so hard for me to figure out is the console is all I have to look at, so that's why I want something more visual. Anywho, so now this is fixed, but it doesn't. This is only fixing the null reference. So instead of just sending the character name and the message with its color code, I decided to add the username as well, because your teammates are stored as their username, so we can communicate to them more easily. And in this case, it just kind of failed me. So if I send use username, then the chat handler. Oh wow, dude, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to stream. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's going really slow. It's not a happy camper. Why is Bill? It's never really given me this much crap. Let's try closing some things. I just want to save that. How's that? What in the hell? Having technical difficulties here, folks. Performance. Yeah, okay. And processes. Yeah, I guess having two versions of Unity, it doesn't like that. Alright, we'll close the main one out. Don't save. So yeah, I fixed a handful of little things. I made and things like things that will just be helpful. I've been trying to do any kind of server resets and updates at nighttime, so it's not like if there's even one person playing, I don't want to kick them off. I feel bad. Like, I'm just happy one person's playing my game. I'm like, yeah, sweet. So I don't want to ruin it. But yeah, trying to update at night, and sometimes if there's nobody on, I could just do a quick reset in seconds, you know, like 30 seconds. I just have to swap a file and then restart it. If I build out all the server code right here, if I build all that out, then I just put that jar in and restart it. But the way I've had it set up, there was a default of 5 minutes before it would restart. So I made a little adjustment so I can type in something and then it will try parse, use float dot try parse, and if we can turn it into a number, then we'll send that through, and it will restart the server. I think I messed up. Now that I think about it, I think I missed something. But yeah, it'll restart the server in like say 10 seconds, so I can just hurry and do it. And yeah. Anywho, so party chat might have a fix. It's still kind of like even this party chat. This is like, it's gonna probably end up different by the time I get this fleshed out. So we're gonna mess around here and see if I can collect some data, and then let me cross this off the list. I gotta test that. And I think part of what was causing the problems with the Philosopher's Shard, if anybody who watches this knows what I'm talking about, it was very possible that that Steam didn't update. I don't know what I'm missing. There's something I'm missing to make it force update. I don't know where it's at. So I think it's possible that there was a mismatch of files and that could have caused it. I don't know, because all I did was a new build and then it worked. I didn't have to really, I did rip out some code, but other than that, I don't get it. So I've implemented a system that will help check the files and make sure it's up to date. And then yeah, the rest of this boring video is just gonna be seeing what we can do with this. Let's see. My dad knows like 15 plus years. Oh wow. In C#, always tried to make a game of his story is exactly like yours. Could never find buddies into code or friends and funding. Well, good luck. Wish I knew C# like him. Wow, man. Yeah, I feel for him. It's like, it really. I am very, very grateful to my parents specifically for letting me study for years and then beyond that pursue my dream of making a video game. I mean, couldn't have done it without them. So grateful. And it's like, even though this was my dream, I gotta say, man, it's freaking hard, and it has gotten to a point where there's days where it's like, this is not fun anymore. But it's mainly the business side and the frustration of just being one person with limited to no resources, basically no resources. So you can't hire the help that you need, and you can't really juggle everything. So me doing these streams, I mean, it's a devlog thing, and it's just to kind of show a pulse, but it's about as much as I can really get involved with community management. I need specifically somebody helping on that. I mean, we do have a couple people that help on that. It's just until the game gets a little further and a little more fleshed out, I think it's going to be hard to like, I don't expect him to be on when nobody's around. But Digital Zombie, he's awesome. He's always helping. And Yeti, and I mean, there's a couple people that are just troopers, man. So we're getting there. I forgot I was gonna see if I could get a screenshot of what Yeti's working on. All right, so let me explain what I got going on here. So don't mind the spheres for a sec, but this is their GUI, and you know, if you've messed with Unity, that is what it is. It just shows up like a big old dumb thing in your screen. And click on this So what I'm thinking, these are just thoughts. Like, oh, I could put the server status. I wouldn't need that, but depends on how I want to use this tool, and if this gets built into a tool that I could give somebody admin permission, then they could download this version and administrate. You know, that'd be cool. And chat wasn't working because of the wrong text type, and I thought I had the wrong receivers, but that's not it. And this is just saying, what? Like, what the fuck? And this little sphere will go around the pole just to let me know it's connected when I start it. Chat is, I just barely started putting that in there. This CCU is concurrent users. Oh yeah, and the log could put the log in here, but nah. Alright, so my thought is maybe for visual sake I could have a room prefab every time somebody creates a room. So for each of these. Now this is totally unnecessary. It just would be nice to see visually a little chunk that represents each room or each instance. And then when somebody's in there, I don't know if anybody's in the game, but we'll see what this does. It will spawn cubes in here. Oh, the sphere is not where it's supposed to be. Okay. Or maybe I disabled it. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay, so those are players, and then you could select the cube, and we can look at anything about that player. We can see they're, well, we can't right now because I don't have it done, but that is what I'm working on. All this data will be filled in. So we'll know their faction and their current health and how much strength they have and all that. That's the idea. And right now it's not putting them in a specific room, but they will drop into a room based on SmartFox, which room they're in here. And then we'll just spawn new ones for the other. Yo, what's up, Captain Conrad? So that is what I want to do, but we have to collect this data, and more importantly, short term, I've got to get whoever's the host. I need to pass that on to this master user, the host user, the ref, the brain, whatever the hell. I'm calling it Rainbot because it's fun to say. So Rainbot will collect who's hosting what, and it'll operate mostly out of, well, it's going to be in like room 0 or something, but it's basically operating out of zone A, so it's zone level. And then from there, as long as we have a list of all the players, which where did I put that? Oh, I guess it's that. I don't know if that actually, yeah, that should have worked. So, wow, that's pissing me off how slow that's getting. Probably won't stream too long, so let's hurry and figure something out here before my computer dies. So let's say the how the hell am I going to do that? I don't know what my note means here. Well, we'll get to that. So let's say the enemy host manager, and that's going to be... Now the way I did this confuses people, but it's actually kind of cool for not having to... It's just simplified for doing a build and quickly testing it, and not having to have a brain that hosts every single enemy. So enemies do nothing if nobody's around. And essentially all it does is when you get close to an enemy, it checks to see if somebody's already controlling it or hosting it. And if not, then the server checks you. Hey, Yeti, what's up, buddy? Love that guy. That's my buddy Yeti. I call him Yeti because he's a beast at 3D. But it sounds kind of like that, how you say his name, so it's close enough. Anywho, So you get close to an enemy. Well, and that's what these spheres were about, is kind of trying to describe how this would operate. But if you imagine that is the radius, and the player goes, where is the player? This guy, if he gets close to it, then the enemy, if you assume this is the radius, as soon as the player enters that, then it triggers the enemy to check with the server, and in this case it'll go to this rainbot, the master list, and say, is somebody hosting this enemy? No? Okay, you are. And then if somebody else steps into this radius, they're going to be notified that you are the host. So that's how packets will be distributed or whatever. And now, with that in mind, what we want to do is, if I do it quick, it doesn't lag. We want to have the server controller on extension response is basically for SmartFox. This is like your main networking receiver. So you just want one of these, and then this is going to receive everything that you send from the server. So we're going to send a host packet, and that's just basically saying if the command is that, which you type in over here. Dude, what is the deal? Is it Java? Like, or Oracle? I don't know what is lagging me out. Let's close that, and we'll restart this. But in here, this is how it knows. So see how I type send that? So that's like the key. That's the name of the packet. And then there's the data. And super test mode here. So, okay, let's try restarting that. But this says, okay, if I got a packet with that name, then we're going to do something with it. And what we're going to have to do, as I try to make it up on the spot, and not always great at that, I'm thinking what we need is a list of room data. That could work. Dictionary is probably be better. So I was kind of going back and forth between these. And what we could do is say, oh, and by the way, all I'm doing there is I'm just forwarding the data that came from Java, SmartFox, to the function, which is just in another script, so we can try to keep things separate and easier to manage. That's the idea. Do enemies have fixed states, or do they have talents like us? Oh, stats, sorry. They have, every time an enemy spawns, it can be plus or minus 3 of whatever level you are, if it's in an instance, or if it's in the open world, it's whatever level range I gave it. Could be, say, level 10 to 20. So every time it spawns, it picks a random level, and then its stats are based on that level, but it rolls randomly for each stat. It's going to modify that stat and have a chance. So one time you fight an enemy, it may have a lot of intellect. Next time you fight it, might have a lot of vitality, so it has more hit points, or it might have a lot of armor and it's tougher to kill. So each time you fight the same enemy, it is slightly different. Though I want to go a little further with that and get more specific about it. But the way, so that yes, they have their own stats, but the stats are randomized and heavily dependent on their level, since they don't wear gear and they don't have weapons. So they get a ton of buffage to their stats. Then their skills are, I've just started fleshing that out, and only a couple monsters have unique skills. But what's cool is I could actually take from the skills that the players have, which right now is 120 skills, a lot of passives out of that, and then I could give those to an enemy, and the enemy could use that skill against you. So that's nice for that flexibility, but I can also make it a custom skill if I want. So you can give them as many skills as you want. Obviously, the stats are the same. We have 10 stats: strength, dexterity, vitality, intellect, conviction, elemental, which is frost and fire, runic, which is arcane and uh, nature, and then divinity, which is holy and unholy. And then you've got weapons, which will be like, I'm gonna add crushing in there, like crushing blows. So that'll be a thing that if you're specialized with weapons, you'll have that chance to get crushing blows and things like that. But it's effectively the same thing. If you build up your weapons, say 1,000 weapon stat is going to give you 20% more damage with physical. Could be a crossbow, bow, sword, axe, whatever. But then if you go 1,000 into elemental, you're going to get 20% to fire or frost. And then defense is kind of the opposite. So for tanking. Yeah, long story, sorry. Okay, so if we just pass the data over here, first thing I need to know, and I don't think I included it, we need the room. So here I'm trying to pull things out of the data. So the current host, we're gonna start there. Got a lot of comments where I'm just trying to think through my approach here. But we take the data that we received, and this is a SmartFox, that stands for Instanced SmartFox Server Object. So we call that data, and then we're gonna get the integer based on the key that it was packed with, and that's like the name of the variable. And then we're gonna store it into a variable here that's an integer, and then we name it. Now we can use that to look it up. So I just need to make sure that we did send a room, which I don't think we did, or I don't think I did. Let's see though. I'm almost out of Mountain Dew, man. Oh no. Okay, I did put it in there. It should be in the recent build. I didn't even check the log actually. What did we get in the log? Okay, so right here I have clone data when the bot's on, and that's how I'm getting away with testing during this phase. But once it's all finalized, nobody will be able to play unless the bot is on, because the bot is the authority, is the referee. So that's the end goal, but it's going to take some time to get it configured right. So anyways, we clone the data from the data that was received, and this is basically you checking to see if somebody is hosting an enemy or if you need to host it. And I'm going to pass it over to the bot and then continue on doing what it normally does. And if you receive set as host, if this comes back to you, then you will be the host, and anybody who checks on it after that will get you as the host until you drop it, which happens when you get outside of that sphere that I was showing, the area. So right here, we put in our string, we gave it a name, room name, that's the key, this is the value. So it's going to be the name of the room that you were in when you sent this packet to check on the enemy. So over here, should be able to use that, and we'll do something like, okay, so the room dictionary, if it contains it, we can look it up. Else it doesn't contain it, then we need to add it. And this is going to be tricky, maybe. I'm going to have to flesh out the room data more. But we're still in, discovery stage here, figuring out what I gotta do, or what I'm gonna do. So let's see here. And there's a packet, blah blah blah. So this is going to the dictionary, looking for, let's say, room 1. If we just, I closed it. Just imagine that says room 1. Then we're going to pull the host dictionary out of there and check to see if it contains the enemy that you're checking on, the one that you're querying. And if it does, what am I doing here? Well, we don't really want to leave it forever, but for short term, I was thinking I could get away with that for testing. So if it contains it, we need to. Well, it depends. Determine if we are dropping host status. I love tech. What up, dude? Sup, F? Broski. Yo. Okay, so we'll need to do that, and then, you know, I should be able to debug this. Let's see what we got here. Got the log on the other screen, just trying to figure out if there's anything in there that we need to look at. Singular base character. Oh, hey, we were getting data though. Alright, so 18,000, holy bejesus. Okay, that's more than I expected. So I'll have to work on that. Now, this is interesting. Enemy 156 not found in dictionary for room 1, which is Blackmore. We got 18,000 of those. That's a little crazy. Not found. So we hit this block. So we had the room. That's good. And 156, 159, 120. Alright, well, that makes sense because I didn't add them, right? So, yeah, add if it hasn't been added yet. Durr. So, got our room. If it contains it, turn it for dropping it. Else if it doesn't contain it, then we add it. Okay. So, dictionary, yeah. So now we need to do this, like this. So it'd be dot add EID. See, and it shows you right there. Anybody, I try to do kind of like a tutorial kind of thing, so anybody who already knows this stuff, sorry, but just try to explain it while I'm looking at it best I can. So right here, it wants an integer and a string, and it's saying this is, you refer to it as the key, and then the value of that key. So the key is going to be the integer, the enemy's ID. So if you look at my log, we'll say 156, enemy 156. We're gonna add it, and the host name I don't know yet because, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, so this shouldn't interfere with anything because we're just pulling that data over for testing. It's not going to do anything authoritative yet. So we're going to add it, then don't know why I was thinking that. Let me just comment that for a second. It's hard to like try to talk and program. Yo, Calter, what's up, dude? I haven't talked to you forever. I haven't talked to anybody forever, actually. I've just been super antisocial for months. Alright, player ID probably is going to be important for, well, no. Maybe, I don't know. But the way I do instances, that might be an issue. Alright, so this is saying we didn't have him. This is going to be tricky, for sure. Like, there's not going to be any resolution on this tonight, for sure. But I can at least kind of show I still don't think I'm describing it correctly or well enough for people to get the idea of what I'm doing, but maybe in a nutshell, people get it. Just trying to make one client that's going to be the referee to everybody, so that I don't have to program in Java, because I dislike Java so much, and I won't be totally stuck with the other thing, the, what do you call it, the console, because it's just too hard to work out of a console like this, and that's all you get with SmartFox. So I want something more visual. And been a long time. Just landed a job as .NET developer. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah, definitely congrats. That's awesome. That's like, I mean, I don't know exactly what all you'd be doing, but I assume like a lot of C sharp. I like that. Wow, it's already been an hour. That's crazy. Hold on a second here. What else can I listen to that doesn't give me copyright strikes? What is this one? This work? Yeah, this might work. Yeah, if I'm feeling this one though. Let's go. Yeah, but this one's gonna give me copyright strikes. Yeah. Or not strikes, just warnings is what I meant. Screw it. We're just gonna deal with it because I want to listen to something else. Alright. Yeah, plenty of C sharp. Plenty of C sharp to go around. Alright. We did get that, so I don't need that. Dictionary. Okay. Just do that for now. When I program, it's so sloppy, so I apologize to people looking. It gets sloppy. I try to clean it up when I'm done, but all right. So if we have this ran once for each of those. This was all room 1. We need a username. Let's say how do I want to do this? Let's say, do we got a username here? We got a player ID. I think we have a username, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. Say, blah, found that. Yeah, let's try this. I just want to see a little more. Alright, so if it's not there, we add it to the dictionary. If it is there, this is where we're either doing... Yeah, son of a bitch. It's gonna be one of a few things. It's either send back host name or drop. Yeah, maybe just that. In which case we would remove. It should be just one of these two. So we need, I guess we do need this one. Whoa. I'll have to look at how I did it on the other one. I mean, this is good. We're getting the packets. That's the main thing. Oh. Fuck yeah, Ginger! Dude, this song is just, it blows me away. How does she do that? It's amazing. How's it going? Been a while since I watched one of these. Yeah, one of these boring ass streams, but yo, Minoy, what's up? It's going, just slow. Painfully slow. I'm super frustrated, but I tried a lot of different things. I tried to get help and looked into funding options, and fuck it. Just gonna keep going solo. It sucks, but whatever. Okay, so we could say something like if remove host. I guess I need to look at my other setup here, but this would be where we might want to say the host dictionary. Actually, we'll go like this. We could just say equals nothing for a minute. I don't know how I want to do this yet, but I think we'll leave the enemy ID in there, so as the game plays, the dictionary will build itself up. And then Tatiana is insane. Yeah, that is her name. What's up, Sean? Or Zinix? Oh man, I busted you. I blew your cover. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, so I think we either leave them, which... See, this is going to depend, because if I want to use this dictionary beyond just an integer and a string, if I store the data for each enemy, then I might want to remove it, because that could get crazy. If you have 100 rooms and each one has, 30 enemies even, then yeah, 300 entries in that dictionary, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I try to think of what's going to cost a lot of data and could be performance issue, but right now I'm not sure. So we'll just go with, as the dictionary builds up for each room, it'll just enter in enemy ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll give it a host name right here, but after you're going to drop it, then we'll just set it to null, and the next person would be checking it, so we would say, I'm gonna just do it like this to be clear. I normally would use the exclamation point, but so when it's false, we're just gonna set null, and this isn't final, so a lot of people are like, oh my god, why don't you do it like this and do it like that? But just ignore that. We're just trying to get logic out. So here, if, oh yeah, shit, I did that backwards. This would be true. And would I, one of these has to send back, so let's look at how I did it over here. Dude, it's like, it's NetBeans, Oracle, whatever the fuck. This thing is... Ugh. Hang on. Okay. So over here, what was I doing? I was going with, if it's true we're removing host, then okay, so I was doing a similar thing, setting it null. Then do that and send it back, okay. Guess so. Yeah, I didn't know about that though. That's gonna take more thought. So synchronizing this new master user referee bot brain thing is gonna be a little tricky for sure. Unsubscribe. Bye. Okay. You don't have to answer this, of course, but would you say the game got a good number of sales? Oh, hang on. What the? Just moved my window for some reason. I think last time I was here was right before release. Yeah, no. I mean, it did, but that doesn't translate to money. So I don't want to give the impression that, oh yeah, there was so many sales. It was like, I think 5,000 units, I think, but that includes in-game sales, which could be like $1. So it was something like that. And all I can tell you is, in the end, it's probably the least I've made in decades. If you were to look at it as a yearly salary, it's pretty pathetic. But yeah, I don't want to talk about that shit again. It's so frustrating. I'm just gonna keep grinding and try to keep growing it, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, so it looks like I was sending the whole room a notification when you drop host. So if you were hosting a unit and you got too far away, the unit now needs to be available, so the server tells everybody in the room, okay, this unit is available. And that's fine, but I think I can do it better. Unit is already a host, so get that, yeah, that would be the name, and yeah, and then host. So it looks like the way I was doing this, my logic is basically, if you're not removing, then you must be requesting. So because I did it, I made it stop right here. So I could just mimic that for the time being, try to get it working in generally the same way. And my hope is, and I'm pretty certain that by doing this, just by going through the motions, going through your code, you find the solution to the bug or problem that you're having. And this one, see, normally you can kind of read through most bugs and find it, or it. The problem with this bug is I can't reproduce it. I have no idea how to make it happen. So when you can't reproduce it, it's extremely hard to debug. So we're just gonna kind of rewrite it, but in a different scenario. I need my heartburn pill. Alright, so we can do the same thing. Say if you are removing, then do that and stop. Notify everybody, okay. Then otherwise we go ahead and grab the name. Let me just put this over here so I can reference it. And this probably drives people nuts, but I like to put little kind of separators. I don't know, kind of helps me visually. So we found a room, but now we need to check if we're going to drop host, so still need to see if it's in there. Thinking, well, that would be the only scenario where you could. So this would be make, and I find it way easier to just kind of pseudo code. Not even that, I just straight up type what I'm gonna do. So make a new object, send to all, only the room though. To reset the unit. Yeah, I could more or less just copy that. Ooh, God damn it, I'm confusing myself again. That's remove host is true, set null. Duh. So dropping host is you, and then this one would be different. Oh, I see what I could do. So go new packet up here. What is it? ISF first? I don't know why, but you have to use the ISFS object first. We'll call this return, or we'll call it response data equals new, and then you use SFS object for some reason. Then I could probably even clone this. I don't know. Just to, well, no, I don't want to muddy it up. Alright, so this one. Say response data dot put. Oh. What are we putting? We're putting a string. So UTF string. We'll call it host name. Pretty sure I did a capital H. On the other one, you got to make sure the keys match. It is cap sensitive. And then we're going to put that, which should give me the string of the name of the current dude. Ooh, but we should probably check that it's not empty first, huh? Yeah, let's see. Oh, wait. So if string dot null or empty, then we know we got a problem. You know, the whole thing, I guess. Then otherwise, we know it's good. So put error. Host name equals null. 156, and then that checks the name because it says it was there. Oh, this would have to do a return, wouldn't it? I'll just put a little note out here. When just dropping post. I don't know what I used here. Oh, that's what I did. So that equals null. I'll just have that at the last part, because I think we need some more data in here. We need, oh yeah, we need that. And then we gotta send. Oh. Nothing? Ah, that's what I did. So now we'll go through this and dot send, and we will send what did I say? Did I do it? Yes. Set as host response data to shit. We gotta get the room. Son of a. Is it find room? I just want room. Change room contains room. Get room by name. And then it's gonna be the room name that we received. Okay. What you oh, right. Derp. Gotta make an extension request for that. I'm just gonna be lazy and copy it from somewhere else. Where did I do one of those? Fine. Extension request. Okay, yeah, that. There's what I want. So that would be stuff. Okay. Send request. There we go. Dude, my computer's so jacked. My internet is jacked too, by the way. Just so everybody knows, that's been a nightmare. Xenix has been helping me, thank God. Now that I have heard of it before, we'll check it out. Oh, sweet. Yep, Dark Rift is interesting. Oh, I missed some of my noise. Been using Photon a lot recently because I don't know other solutions. I tried Mirror, but I had some trouble getting it to work. If you use Photon, and if so, what are your opinions? I haven't used Photon personally. I've seen a bit of it. It doesn't look too bad, for sure. And then, wait. Let's separate this. And then, one more line up here. Put an int. This is gonna be the ID. Good enough. Save all that for a second. God damn it. That's so annoying. I hover over a freaking internet window and then it just selects it. Oof. Something's going on with my computer, man. It is not happy. Played with Dark Rift 2, some was easy to pick up. Yeah, it seems like if I do change, Dark Rift would be one that I would really have to look at. I don't know. I just don't see any point just yet, but another reason I continue Photon is because it seems to have the most documentation. Oh, well, that's a big deal. Yeah. Yeah, documentation. It's weird. It's like there is documentation for SmartFox, but it's really just not good. This is getting so annoying. I don't understand what's going on here, but okay, so in theory, okay, really not a fan of solos. We're just gonna skip through that. That is a good riff, but we're gonna just jump over here. Okay, so I'm gonna block it out in the way that I have it, and then I'll think it through. After, I like to try to block it out and then read through it line by line and think through. I don't know. So it's either number 1, we're gonna drop the host, or number 2, gonna send it back. To this one. If it's no longer empty, then we have a problem. But otherwise, we're gonna say put that in there. That's the host name. What did I do over here? Looks like that's the same. I mean, I guess since it's gonna respond either way, we can just do this up here. Here's a question. I gotta think about that because that might force. I mean, it would sync the host and avoid the problem altogether. All right, that's a big maybe. Now, we add it. And see, I should do. Change it. Well, actually, let's do kind of what I did in the other one, I guess. We'll say. Let's do it up here. We'll say bool set requester as host. Then we could say in the scenario where you are, the string is no longer empty, then this is going to be true. So really that's not an error, right? Because, yeah, yep, that would have been a problem anyway, so let me do this. I'll just take this out for a second. I don't really care about that. Now, if it's empty, set use host. Otherwise, it's not empty. Then we need to respond. Yeah. So we put that in there. We've got the ID up there. Then could send that down below. Man, this shit is so boring. I'm sorry, guys. Ah! Host, got that. See, in Java dictionaries, I wonder if replace is part of. I read to use replace instead of put, or vice versa. Like they do the same thing, which is weird to me. I don't know. Okay, so I think just need to send it. I mean, this is gonna be a little. It's gonna look stupid, but I'm gonna do this. Do that there, and I'm gonna push this back so it stands out to me. And that will remind me that I gotta look at this and think about that. Tricky. Alright, so there's not been added yet. Got that. Now, in this scenario, we have the key. Then this one we don't have the key, so we make it. And this one I think is kind of the same thing. I'm just gonna do it this way. It's gonna look stupid, but whatever. Alright, so that. Right. Let's put this out of there. Also, just decide on that later too. Okay, so. I guess that could go up here too. And Alright, so we'll make a if statement down here. Really, then that could all go in the same place. Is that kind of how I did it? Not found, yada yada, did not find room. Did we get that? No room was found for room 1, so okay, that worked. Cool. Added blank data. Sure. Blah blah blah. It's not empty. What was I doing with this? Yeah, I think what I should do is just the send could be the last part, excluding remove, because I'm definitely repeating parts here. Well, this part. And I gotta think about. No, that makes sense. It's slowly coming together. In my head. To you guys, you're probably like, what the fuck is he doing, man? God, just type already. It's hard. Me brain. Me brain. Alright, so this one is, it's empty, so you have to be the host. Let's put that. Have E unit, but no host equals you are host. Then this scenario is do have a host, have host, so just send her host back. Let's put that down here now. More central. What the hell? God, I need new glasses. Alright, so that just sends back that, and I wonder if we just send it last. Looks right. With that part, I gotta think about. Shit. Alright, I know I'm probably forgetting a dozen things, but we could probably give this a test. Add you, and this is kind of silly to get it that way, because I could just put host name. That would work, but I want to make sure it is exactly whatever the hell is in that value for that key. So we gonna do that. Shit, you know what though? We don't want to send, because that's gonna screw people up. I'm not ready for that, so we'll leave it there. And shit, this is gonna be hard to test. I'll try to do it at night, so if anybody's playing, it won't fuck with them too much. But it's gonna be hard. We do have a Xenix helped me set up a test server. We might need to use that, buddy. I don't want to though, because it's just so hard to work in two different projects and keep them both kind of synchronized. But we might need to. Damn it. Alright, so that's doing exactly the same shit, and that would mean could just say down here. I mean, if the room's not there, then we have to add it. See, this is gonna fail right off the bat. It only works if the bot is running the entire time. So for it to step in midway, it's never gonna work because it would have added the room and then failed to do the rest. Tricky. Unless we did it up here and just done the container, then add it, and then check again. That's fucking dumb, but might be a good idea for this phase. We'll just put a note here. Host query, we'll call this, will fail unless run this again recursively. Recursion. It's just a fun thing to say. But boy, can you fuck shit up with it good, because you're basically doing a loop. But I could just have this, like, after it's added it, I could run this function again, and just say, hey, check for the room again, and just pass the data that it already had. Doable. Let's put this here, and then I'll comment both. No, there's nothing wrong with that. What am I doing with that? I'll leave that there. You know, I guess I just need to stream more often so it's not so nerve-wracking. Hey, Mr. Ray Honda, what's up? My moderator man. Yeah, I was, you know, one of these days I want to just drag all you guys in a hangout. We'll stream together. It'll just be random, nonsensical topics of discussion while I fumble around with code. It'll be fun. Maybe. Alright, what am I going to do with this boolean? The way I had it in the old one made sense, but this one I'm not sure. Looks like it was updating and then sending back to all users, so if this is saying that it was empty and we need to set use host, could you just fucking do it? And don't need that shit at all. It was empty, otherwise it's not empty. Turn back the host. Okay. Then this is the only one, I think. You are host. Now you become host at that stage, and that would be true. Where was it? Somewhere up here. Yeah, right there. So let's just say the same thing. Alright, so there's two scenarios. You become the host. Two where you drop, sort of. And then this one is when it's not there, we add it, you are host. Okay. Okay, so we'll do like... Shit, that might need to be your username. Why do I even have that? I think that should be your freaking username. All right, let's try this here. We'll say yada yada blah blah blah. What's name? That should be username. Then we say send request as host equals true. Then don't want this outside the block. Maybe. Oh, shit. Oh, I think I put it in the wrong block. Didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Just move it here for a minute. Okay. You don't want to be a total pain in my ass. That's fine. So as long as we add it with your username, then that goes there. I gotta figure that one out. And did I do anything else special there? No. Then the recursion is something to think about. Okay, as long as I'm not sending anything, we're just gonna mess with this and see what it does. I agree, not much. Kitchen ceiling collapsed. Oh no! Other than that, nothing really going on. Definitely love to stream with you. Yeah, that would be fun. We'll have to do that. A lot of the stuff I've been working on is it's just gonna be boring shit to stream or shit that I don't want to stream because it might have information I don't want people to see, or like, you know what I'm saying, stuff you don't want to show. And randomness, fuck yeah, randomness. All right, anywho, I don't know how to, we got so many of those, that's kind of concerning. Let's just let it do its thing, collect, and you know what I really want to do though? I really want to see a list. I want to see this dictionary. So let me see. Zinix showed me how to do this. That sucks about the ceiling, but now you have a skylight. That's funny. Fair. The bits you're cool. With shown, but are boring. Can be streamed and more fun with more people in a call. Around. Yeah, that's true. Being more informative at the same time. Yeah. This, I think, because this is just like it's like I'm in discovery mode. I'm creating something that doesn't exist and doing it in a different way than I don't know, making it up as I go. So that's extra boring, but I definitely want people to see that I'm working on it and it's going to get there. It just takes time. Let me grab this. Is this what we needed? I think that's what we needed. I mean, overall, I'm really optimistic about where this is heading. Worst case scenario, I just take a more traditional approach, you know. But this, the way, what I'm trying to achieve is preserve a lot of the logic that I took a lot of time writing, you know, and getting it as correct as it could be. Granted, yes, there's some bugs, which most of those will be resolved with a center authoritative thing, center point of authority. So, yeah, I'm optimistic. I think it's gonna work out good. It's just gonna be slow for a minute. I don't know how this is gonna work out. Are we using this mofo? I don't think we're using that mofo. Or not yet. Alright, alright. So, just gonna check this out, and ideally what I need to do though is I need to get, I want to see exactly the list, because I think it'll be clear to me where the breakdown is if I watch it in real time while people are checking host and changing host, and then I can do some more debugs, pop in the game, drag somebody else in there with me, and try to cause it to break and recreate the bug, and then we'll get somewhere. But for the time being, I just want to see these fill up, so I don't know what's going to happen here, but once I can see it over there, I think I'll have something more to work with. And that is not, I don't want to listen to that right now. Alright, we're gonna go with this one for a minute, because I'm pretty much gonna pop off or stop streaming and focus on what I'm doing. I can't focus, man. It's too hard. Alright, so we got some cubes here. And now that's cool. Okay, okay, that one's working. This is right. I'm not gonna be able to see that one. Or wait, there's a drop down. What? Oh my god, this Odin Inspector is awesome, guys. Wow, look at that. Oh shit, that's cool. I just thought, no, that's not gonna work, but yeah, that's badass. I guess I better define that. Dude, that's so cool. Love it. Let me take a screenshot of that right quick. That is exactly what I wanted. So now we can see the enemies, and we can see there is no host name. That's something. That's definitely something I can work with. Wait. Yeah, okay, whatever, I'll put it here. Okay, cool. Interesting. Wow, there's even pages. Neat. What does that do? I don't know what that does. Cool. I like this. The value... I don't know, I'll have to mess with that. But nope, I'm gonna environment is from... It's from water damage for the jerks upstairs. Oh man! Using VS or VS Code? I'm using VS Community. Yeah, for sure if you need help in reporting bugs. Sweet. Did you just discover Odin? Yeah, you could say that. It's been in this project since like February or January when I was working on this, and then been pulled in a bunch of different directions, but I still don't know what the hell's going on, but I was thinking we were I don't even know how to word it. A person was going to work on server stuff and still is trying to, but has a life and shit to do, so in the meantime, I'm just going to keep going the direction that I know. This is really cool though, so I'm gonna mess with that, and I think that's gonna help me get somewhere. All right, so if you go faster, the script inspector faster coding directly in generate. Oh, repro. You did mean to say reproing. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. To anybody curious, this is a way too long a video to try to explain. Basically, uh, what's going on. I don't know how to summarize it, but that's what I'm dealing with. I've got a complicated situation where I know it's possible. I just got to go through and see what works and what doesn't, and what code isn't going to fight me. Is it going to cooperate if I do it this way or that way? But at the same time, I'm creating a tool that I can use whether or not I need to. So like I could use I could still use SmartFox, but with the way that this tool is with Rainbot, the way it's working out, it could wind up just being a really powerful tool that lets me get more visual on it. I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but what I really want is something like what I see. I think the guy's name is Anarchy on YouTube, Anarchy HD or something like that, and he does admin for DayZ, and that is so cool. They have like full menus and GUI and everything, and I love it. That would be really, really cool, because then even the admins would have fun. I don't want it to be like currently it's very basic form of GM controls, and I figure since we've got to go this direction anyways, might as well make it more powerful, more interesting and fun where you can. So yeah, so those will be the main things though. Host, the enemy host thing, it's either gonna work or it doesn't. If it doesn't, then I go with the more traditional route, but pretty goddamn positive I'll get it fixed. Then base character, this one will be all the players, which after I basically just have to collect the data, kind of trim down, see what I need, what I don't need, get it organized properly, and then I'll be ready to add more layers. In the last video or one before it, I was trying to explain how I'm going to do it potentially in different layers. There could be a bot for combat and a bot for trading and a bot for dueling and a bot for every little separate thing, so I don't have to necessarily kill off or shut down everything while I work on one area. I can just work on that area without affecting anything else. That's what I was thinking. I like the idea, but we'll see how it plays out. Anyways, I suck at ending streams, so I'm just gonna say bye. See ya. Anyways, you guys are awesome. I'll try to have something more interesting soon. Bye guys.